back. As you can see, I'm still Mikey. Welcome back. Back in the garage, doing more car stuff. Today I want to change the cabin filter inside the car. First I want to apologize for the camera work when I get inside the car in the footwell. Bear with me. You ready? Intro. Here's the air filter. I picked this up from ECS Tuning when I grabbed the other parts. You'll know what I'm talking about if you saw my other videos. And it did come with instructions, but it's not for this car. You only need a couple tools for this. I've got a 10mm socket and a T20 Torx bit. That's it. So we're in the passenger footwell, and you have the two 10mm nuts here with the blue nylon insert. There's the one on the left, and you've got the one over here on the right. Just need to grab the 10mm wrench and remove those. Once you have the two 10mm nuts off, then you have to remove the entire panel here. This whole footwell panel is all one piece. You can either use a trim tool or just wedge your finger in there like I did. Some cars will actually have a 12-volt accessory there, you know, a cigarette lighter. If you do, make sure you disconnect the wires. Then just pull down in the front and the panel will pop loose. Make sure you disconnect the footwell light, and if you have it, there may be a speaker there. Next is where you're going to need your T20 Torx. There are two screws you're going to need to pull out. One is right here and the other one is right here. This whole piece needs to come out, so you can wedge it down on this side. This tab push away from the front of the car towards the seat. This connects to something here under the dash, and I am not going to pull it out because I have no idea where it goes. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. This is your air filter right here, and this just slides out. Just wiggle it out. You may have to vacuum after. Mine looks pretty gross. Look at this little guy. So I've got my old filter and my new filter here. It's pretty obvious which one's which. So I did notice that there is a directional arrow on these. I noticed this before I pulled it out of the car. This arrow is pointing towards the front of the vehicle, so I just need to make sure I bend it the same way and put the arrow towards the front of the vehicle. Easy enough? So the new filter just needs to be wedged up in here. And then just put the cover back on. Make sure it clicks into place, and then just replace your screws. Getting the panel back in place is the most difficult part of this whole process. So once you've reconnected the footwell light, you have to push the panel back in place, and there's a tab right here. This is actually going to go up into this, and this was part of the panel of the air filter that we pulled down. This portion of the panel has to go on top of this right here on the side of the kick panel. I'm going to hook the right side on top here. Then I'm going to watch that hook on the left. That's going to go in place. Then I have to make sure that this goes behind the panel here. And that's probably like one of the hardest parts. There we go. I don't know if you saw anything but my arm. Then all you have to do is make sure that where the 10mm bolts are, make sure those go through the panel. And I feel the bolt on this side. I can feel the bolt on this side. And the last thing is just pushing the top part of this up in place. Once you get everything installed here and you want to make sure that you have everything connected properly, you can see here that the tab from the panel is underneath that like D-ring portion of the panel that was on the bottom of the air filter. And then you can look over here and see that, you know, everything, the kick panel, everything's in the right place. Double check all the gaps, make sure everything looks nice and pretty. Now I just have to put the 10 mil bolts back on and we're done. So as you can see, super easy to do. The most difficult part of that is getting the little clips in the right place when you put that panel back onto the footwell. Thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I don't know. See you soon. Cool? Later. So here's the old filter. You can see all this nasty stuff stuck in here. It's pretty gross. Whoa.